Welcome back to the Low Bottom High Rise podcast with me, your host, Moira Casaba. I am so excited to be here today. This is a quick, short episode. We're going to do one of our solos that might be, 10, 15 minutes long. I was in San Antonio and I got to see so many of you, so many people in my audience. It was like the number one thing that everybody that came up to me, which was kind of shocking because, not shocking, but in that world, when I'm kind of in my coaching bubble with thousands of people around me whose lives I have very closely impacted through coaching, through network marketing, and through what I teach over there, it's really fun to hear how many people are avid podcast listeners to this show every single week, and just hearing the impact, hearing how much it's changed your life, hearing that you kind of wait for it to drop every Monday morning, and your real life examples of how things that we've taught on this show you have just embodied, you've put into action, and you have made changes in your life that have led to extraordinary changes in your life. So I want to just like tell you that I see you, and it's incredible. It's incredible. This audience is incredible, and I adore you. I love you. I'm so grateful for you. And then the really fun thing was that so many of you guys said, because I mean, it's shocking to me because guys, the headliners, the New York Times best-selling authors, the thought leaders, the world-renowned this and that we get on this show. Sometimes I just feel like God is so good to me. I don't even know how I end up connecting with these people and they end up coming on the show. They're amazing, right? But so many of you guys said, I love those short episodes where you just drop a little nugget of wisdom and you get so much out of that. So I'm going to try to do more of these because I do believe in the little nuggets, right? It's like we could read an encyclopedia of self-growth from A to Z and we're not going to absorb that much. But when we hear one little thing that we can just kind of ruminate on and think about and implement, it changes our life, right? So a couple weeks ago, I told you that I was going to give you this little nugget on what a lot of people term affirmations, right? They can be called affirmations. Some people call them like in their intentions that they set. Um, Tony Robbins, when he's talking about voicing these things, like really literally actually saying them into the universe, it's an incantation. So lots of different words for these kind of statements that you're claiming in the morning. I say in the morning, you can do them anytime, but most people do them in the morning. But we've all heard of affirmations, right? And I discovered this, 10 plus years ago. And it really made all the sense in the entire world to me. And I have taught it ever since because a lot of times when we get a little caught up with like a little tied up with something when we're working on our personal growth, and we're trying to, maybe we're trying to craft the vision but we're stuck in this one little area. And of course I love helping people craft their vision because I do know exactly where, like the 5 or 6 places where people get caught up, and I'm like, no, 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 just do this, and they're like, oh my gosh, now I got it, and they're like off to the races, right? So again, a lot of times in our personal journey with personal growth, we're doing things, but maybe we're doing them a little wrong. Maybe we're doing them and we think, gosh, it's not working, right? Like I'm not feeling better or I'm not manifesting. The things aren't coming into my life. Like, where am I going wrong? And we've all been there. I've been there 1,000 times, you guys, where I'm like, I am doing everything I can and it's not working. Where is the snag, right? With affirmations, I know exactly where the snag is, and I'm going to share that with you today. And it's my guess that this is going to like make a whole lot of sense to you, just as it did for me when I discovered this over 10 years ago. So, what it is this: when we state something like, I have $1 million, right? Or I am wealthy. A lot of times, what we want to manifest has to do with money, right? Or it has to do with like an accomplishment, or it has to do with weight in our body, something like that. Those are kind of the most common things, or a relationship. We're saying these things, we're claiming them, and we're trying to speak them into the universe so that we can manifest them at warp speed, right? And it's not working. And we're like, gosh, for the last 30 days, 60 days, maybe even 6 months or a year or however long, maybe it's years. You're like, I have been waking up every freaking day and I have been saying that I have $1 million or I am wealthy. I am wealthy. I am wealthy. Why isn't this working? I am not wealthy. Well, there you go, right there. You get what you are, you get what you feel. You don't get the words that come out of your mouth, right? So let me reiterate this on a whole nother level when it comes to affirmations. So often people are using affirmation statements that are complete lies to themselves, right? Like, meaning, if I say I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, but inside I don't feel that, what am I going to attract? I'm going to attract the feeling, right? I'm going to attract actually that kind of inner conflict that makes me feel like I'm just lying to myself. Now, somebody else may very well say, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, and they feel it. And so it feels like truth. There's an alignment there. And guess what happens for that person? They do attract it because they feel it. Your feeling is an emotion, is a vibration, and that's the point of attraction, not the thought, not the words. How do we change this if we're like, that's me? That's me. I'm stuck. I can't manifest it. I don't know what to do. You just told me that I'm screwing myself over. You're not screwing yourself over, I promise. But what we need to do is be aware of this, right? Be aware of the fact that it's the feeling that's the point of attraction. And we need to change the feeling. So how do we change the feeling? Well, usually we change the feeling with a thought and the words. A lot of us know that the thought creates the emotion creates the action, the action creates like our reality, right? So think about this. Think about, gosh, I could give you so many examples of, think about the times where you are like on a really good, fitness plan and you're feeling good and you're losing weight. Like tends to just snowball. It tends to keep happening because you're feeling good. You're feeling like, gosh, I'm losing weight. So you attract losing weight. The opposite is so true also, because God knows I've been there most of my life, I feel like. Just in that battle with like, I can't lose these 5 pounds, right? Or I just don't feel good in my clothes. What am I attracting? Well, you're going to keep not feeling good in your clothes. And so here's what I want you to do with these affirmation statements. I like to call them clarity statements, right? Contrast, I always say contrast equals clarity. It's one of my guiding teachings in my life and in the world. Contrast equals clarity. We know what we don't want. We don't want to feel bad in our clothes. We don't want to feel financial insecurity. And a lot of times people are like, well, I don't know what I want, or I don't know what to affirm, or I don't know what a clarity statement is. Well, if you don't want financial insecurity, then you want financial security, right? If you don't want to feel bad in your clothes, you want to feel fit and agile and healthy, right? And trim and whatever words you want to use. So use that contrast to give you the clarity. But here's where we go wrong. If they don't feel like truth, if there's not that alignment with our true self, it's not going to work. All you have to do is add a few words in front for it to all of a sudden become true. I remember this so clearly years ago where I, in my mind, was like, oh my gosh, I can't, like, I'm not bringing in any new clients. Like, my team's not performing. Like, who do I think I am? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, stacking, right? Stacking all this negativity and just attracting more and attracting more and attracting more. And so I had to flip this around and I had to say, like, well, the clarity statement would be like, I'm bringing in all these new clients. Well, hello, that wasn't true. That was not true. And so that felt out of alignment for me. It felt like a lie, right? It felt bad. I can't affirm that and get a good feeling out of it because it's not my truth. But what is true is I love how it feels when. How about we add those few little words? I love how it feels when I bring in a lot of clients. It excites me when I get to work with a new client. I love seeing my clients get results in their life. I have no doubt that more and more clients are going to come into my life, right? So did you see that right there? I love how it feels when. That's like my favorite one. I love how it feels when ... It excites me too ... I love seeing ... I have no doubt ... Instead of saying I'm a millionaire, I love how it feels when money comes into my life. It excites me to know that I'm on a journey of abundance. I love seeing abundance and money come into my life every single day. Who doesn't love that, right? Like that's attached to a positive emotion. It's not attached to this inner conflict that doesn't feel like truth. When we wake up, if we're struggling with our weight and we say, I'm thin, and we feel horrible in our body, it creates almost like an inner self-hatred, right? But I love how it feels when I have energy. It excites me to know that I'm on this weight loss journey. I love seeing myself be able to do more physically every single day. I have no doubt that I'm going to reach my weight loss goal. Those affirmations are truth. Those affirmations elicit a positive emotion, right? And I'm going to get into on the next solo episode. So you got to listen to that one too. The vibrational ladder, right? The vibrational ladder that you can go, this is the emotion I'm feeling. Where am I on the ladder? How do I just go up a step, right? And I'm going to teach you that whole process that I believe is literally everything. It's the answer. It's the tool that you need to know about to manifest everything you ever want in your life. The relationship, the weight loss, the money, the rank, the accolades, all the things. It all comes down to how you feel, right? Richard Branson, I love this quote I saw so many years ago. He said, a lot of people think that I got really successful and therefore I got happy, but it's the other way around. I got really happy, therefore I became very successful. And I know a lot of people might kind of roll their eyes at that, but I'm here to tell you from my belief system, from what I've studied for decades, it's the God's honest truth. And where we might get stuck, even if we know that, is how do I get happier, right? How do I lift my vibration? How do I go up a step and another step and another step and another step? So we get to that magical flow state where everything seems effortless. Everything falls into our lap. Everything seems to line up. We all have that opportunity to step into that insane sense of flow. We've all experienced days like this, guys. It wasn't just a random occurrence. It was because of your vibrational state, your emotional state, and you can control that. So we're going to keep going down this rabbit hole. We're going to keep talking about these things because these things light me up, and I'm telling you, it is the secret sauce. It is. So thank you for listening to this very short episode of the Low Bottom High Rise podcast. Shoot me a message on Instagram. I would love to hear your takeaways. Share the episode with a friend that would find it helpful, please. If you would, I would love for you to leave the show a review, and I will see you guys next week.